I used to think my life was perfect. A steady job at a mid-sized tech firm, a cozy home in the suburbs of New Jersey, a decent car, and most importantly, a beautiful wife, Samantha. We met in college, fell in love like people in the movies do, and built a life we were both proud of. We had been married for 8 years. We weren't rich, but we were comfortable. She was a freelance graphic designer, so she worked from home. I worked as a senior project manager, under a man named Richard Blackwell, my boss. He was everything I wasn't: charming, confident, wealthy. The kind of man who filled a room with energy. I admired him, maybe even envied him a little. Samantha had only met him once, at my company's holiday party. I remember she said, "Your boss is kind of hot, don't you think?" We both laughed about it at the time. I had no idea that one day, that joke would haunt me. It started with the little things. Samantha began dressing up more at home, even when we weren't going out. She started wearing perfume while working from her laptop in the living room. She began locking her phone, setting it face down, and smiling at texts she wouldn't let me see. I asked her about it. "Just chatting with Mia," she'd say. "Girl stuff. You wouldn't understand." But it wasn't Mia. The distance between us grew like a crack in glass, starting small but spreading fast. We hadn't been intimate in weeks. She said she was stressed. I believed her. I always believed her. Until the day I didn't. It was a Tuesday when my world fell apart. I had called in sick that morning, not because I was ill, but because I couldn't shake this gut feeling. Something wasn't right. Around 11 a.m., I left the house, drove around the block, parked a few streets away, and walked back. Quietly, I let myself in through the side door. Our bedroom was on the second floor. That's when I heard it. Voices. Laughter. And then, something else. A sound no husband ever wants to hear coming from his own bedroom. I crept upstairs, each step heavier than the last. The door was slightly ajar. I peeked through. There they were. Samantha, my wife, the woman I vowed to love forever, was in bed with my boss, Richard. They were tangled in sheets, lips locked, bodies moving as if I didn't exist. As if our vows didn't exist. I wanted to scream, punch a wall, break something, anything. But I didn't. I stood there, frozen. Watching. Dying inside. Chapter 4: Confrontation. They didn't notice me until it was over. Until Richard walked into the hallway wearing nothing but a towel. "Oh shit," he said, startled. Samantha came running behind him, wrapped in a sheet. Her face went pale. "James, what are you doing here?" "I live here," I replied coldly. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. Richard, always the smooth talker, tried to explain. "Look, man. It just happened. We didn't mean to hurt you." I laughed, a bitter, painful laugh. "You didn't mean to hurt me? You had sex with my wife. In my bed. While I was at work making money for this house." Samantha began to cry. "James, I didn't plan this. I don't know what I was thinking. He made me feel wanted. You've been distant. Work has changed you." "No, Samantha," I said. "You changed. You chose him. You let him into our home, into our bed. This wasn't a mistake. It was a choice." Richard left in a hurry, grabbing his clothes and mumbling something about giving us space. Samantha tried to follow me as I walked downstairs. "Please," she cried. "Talk to me." I turned around. "I'm done talking." I packed a bag and left that night. Slept in a motel. Filed for separation 2 days later. The hardest part wasn't the betrayal. It was realizing the woman I loved didn't love me anymore. Over the next few weeks, I learned it had been going on for months. She met Richard again at a work dinner I wasn't invited to. He charmed her, flirted, got her number. They started texting. Then secret lunches. Then it escalated. She would lie to me, say she was meeting a client, when she was actually meeting him. What broke me wasn't just the physical betrayal, it was the emotional one. She gave him the parts of herself that used to be mine. I thought about exposing Richard, going to HR, ruining his career. But I didn't. I walked away instead. I focused on myself. Therapy. Gym. Talking to friends. Rebuilding what she tried to destroy. People say time heals. Maybe. But I don't think you ever fully heal from being cheated on. You just learn how to live again. Day by day. Samantha tried to reach out months later. Said she made a mistake. That she missed me. But I didn't miss her. I got a new job in Manhattan. Better pay. New boss. Fresh start. 6 months later, I met someone. Her name was Riley. She was nothing like Samantha, honest, funny, kind. She knew my story, and still chose me. We didn't rush. We built trust step by step. One night, while watching the sunset from her apartment, she turned to me and said, "You're not broken, James. Just bruised." And for the first time in a long time, I believed it. Epilogue. People think betrayal is the end. It's not. It's a turning point. A painful one, yes, but also a chance to become stronger, wiser, better. Samantha may have broken my heart, but she didn't break me. She slept with my boss in my home. And yet, here I am, alive, healing, and finally, free.